Start game now.
Welcome retro fans to a special edition of the Notes for Gamer. Today I have a big Atari unboxing that I bought this huge lot of Atari 2600 games and systems, and I wanted to show you some of the games that came with it. I got like almost 100 games with it and a couple of the accessories. The systems are just standard systems. One of the games really excites me. I'll save that game for the very end. Drama. But first let's start out with a couple of the controllers that it came with. How about this? Joystick for the Atari 2600 computer and video games on clearance for $7.99 from KB Toys. And very interesting. There is no really company name on this box, so I've never seen this before, but I look forward to trying it out with its pistol grip and rubber foot pads that prevent sliding for firm tabletop contact. Looking forward to trying that guy out, but since it's generic, I don't really have high hopes that it works that well. Also got a video touchpad in the box for Star Raiders. So there you go, some old school Star Raiders. I believe that came with every copy of Star Raiders, so it's really not that amazing to find, but still cool. I don't have one in the box. Okay, interesting thing about these games is they all came in an individual sandwich bag and with their instructions folded in half, and that's okay. I'd rather have folded in half instructions than no instructions at all. And the bags tell me that whoever owned it probably took good care of it. This is Target Fun. It's a Sears Telegame game. I believe it was Air Sea Battle for the 2600. Sears Telegames often changed the names of their games. Next up is a classic from Magic. It's Demon Attack, complete with the painted silver Godzillas with wings there. How awesome is that? So Demon Attack for your 2600. Got a loose game, Astro Blast, which is based on the smash hit for the Intellivision, brought to you by M Network. So yeah, there you go, Astro Blast. How about the Sears version of Haunted House? They didn't change the name that time, and they kept the very cool artwork. Got the manual for that. So Haunted House, the Telegames version. Or how about the Sears Telegame version of Yar's Revenge? I like the Sears version sometimes, the extra black background. It's just something unique about them. Sometimes the colors just seem a little bit different too. This one seems a little bit redder, so maybe it's just me. Name that game. This label looks terrible, but I think there was a contest with it where you could actually name the game and then future copies would have the name on it, but it never lasted that long, so it's forever known as Name the Game. MASH from 20th Century Fox, based on the hit movie TV show, and I look forward to trying this one out. I think I played this a while at a friend's house a long time ago. Don't remember much about it. How about Buck Rogers? There you go. That's a Sega game on your Atari 2600, so looking forward to some Buck Rogers. How about Sorcerer's Apprentice, a Walt Disney game for the 2600? I think they were going to make a bunch of these, and this might have been the only Disney game that came out. I'm not entirely sure, but it's one of those releases that happened, I think, right before the crash. Yeah, in 1983, that's when the crash happened, so this is a little bit rare. Not the most rare. Kroll. I've never seen the movie, but I played the game. Used to have it when I was younger, so I'm looking forward to playing this again. Infiltrate from Apollo. So dig that box art or label art. Enduro. That label is in really good condition for an Activision game. Sometimes the labels have all these spots, and this one must have been really good, well taken care of. Enduro is a great game. I look forward to playing that. Here's another game that I think came out right about the crash, and that's Private Eye by Activision. You can tell the style of Activision art happened right before the crash, I think, where they got rid of the single color and they gave you a little bit more of an illustration. So yeah, you play a Private Eye and try and solve the case. Has a little bit of depth to it. Real sports tennis as opposed to fake sports tennis. Tutankhamun. Did I say that right? Parker's Brother game. And wow, look at that label. Parker Brother games are notorious for falling off, so I'm really glad that it has its label intact. Wizard of War, based on the popular arcade hit. Supposed to be a good version. Flash Gordon. Even if this game is not good, the box art alone makes it worth owning. There you go. One player using the left joystick. Gonna play me some Flash Gordon later. Donkey Kong. By Nintendo. Made by Coleco for your Atari 2600. Who you gonna call? Ghostbusters. Yeah, there you go. Airlock, and he's airlocked into this sandwich bag. Blueprint, which I remember hearing about on the Atari 2600 Game by Game podcast. I heard it's a pretty interesting game. I look forward to trying it. This, I heard, is not a good game, Sword Quest Fireworld, and it has its comic, and it looks like maybe a couple other things too. So, yep, there you go, Sword Quest. Very infamous game. Solaris, a later release for the 2600. I think I remember playing this, and it's pretty good if I remember right, so I'll have to check that out. Solaris. Cosmic Ark. There you go. I really dig a magic label art, box art. Maze Craze. Like the guy's face there. Based on the arcade hit Gyrus. Space Chase, one of the 275 games with the word space in it for the Atari 2600. Another copy of Gyrus. All right. Have to get two systems and play them at the same time. Lock and Chase, a game I already reviewed, but now I have the manual. Here's a classic, Asteroids. Dig that label art. Got a Zonix Double Ender, which means you got two games, you'd flip it over and play the other one in, and this one has Spike's Peak and Ghost Manor, which I think is the most common of the double enders, even though in general they're not that common. And someone snuck an Intellivision game here, Star Strike, which is like a Star Wars Death Star run over and over again. Have to break out my Intellivision eventually. Mountain King for the Atari. It's a RAM plus cartridge too. Super Challenge Football, which is another Intellivision game that comes to the 2600. Arcade classic Missile Command. I always dug that guy in that helmet. Don't know why. Classic orange box too, but this is just the cartridge and the manual. Another game I already reviewed, Pac-Man for the 2600. Probably gets pretty bad version, but it's not as bad as a lot of people make it out to be. Spectravision, Planet Patrol. So yeah, it's silver. Woo. Star Trek, the official arcade version by Sega for Atari. So there we go. Gonna have to check that one out. Another game I reviewed that I think is not as bad as people make it out to be, E.T. for the 2600, and now I got the manual, but I already know how to play it. If you know how to play it, it's not as bad game as you think. Omega Race, Sheep plus cartridge. Get it? Ram, sheep, ram you. All right, whatever. I believe this is a paddle game, Demons to Diamonds. Another classic there. Video Olympics, which is basically a bunch of different versions of Pong. Huh, it has a Toys R Us bag. Ghostbusters. That's very interesting. That I wonder why that is. Maybe a Toys R Us had these or something? I don't know. But another copy of Ghostbusters, so that makes two. Stargate, which is actually Defender 2. So there you go. I don't know if they ever released it as Defender 2, but I love this artwork on the silver label. Looks really good. I think they also released it as a red label game. Well, you got Fireworld, we got Sword Quest Earthworld, also with the comic and the manual. Amadar. Another. I'm just amazed that these labels are still on. So I think whoever had these took good care. Here's a classic, Jungle Hunt. How about that? I look forward to playing Jungle Hunt. I remember as a kid this being a really good version. Sears Telegames Space Combat. Use joystick controller. I think the label art might be better than anything else in this game. This is Journey Escape, which was based on the popular band. A little bit of an infamous game there. London Blitz. I like that name. I have no idea what it means, but that's a cool name. London Blitz. That sounds like a soccer or football club. The London Blitz. Combat. Very rare game. Very rare. Except it's not. Oh, if you have the touchpad, you got to have the game. Star Raiders. Recently reviewed that one. Not too shabby. This is a great game, Adventure, and I absolutely dig the artwork of the dragon kind of smirking and holding up the key like, no, 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 you can't get it. So very cool there. Take away the ad, and you just got Venture, based on the arcade hit. Pac-Man with the manual, so there was a couple duplicates. Demon Attack again. Ah. Star Voyager, another a Magic game. Nice label there. Ooh, Star Wars, The Empire Strikes Back. I actually owned this when I was younger too. Classic game. Megaforce. I remember some people liking this game, some people really not liking it. I think it's supposed to be like a Defender clone. I look forward to seeing if I like it or not. And another Tutankhamun. Dragonfire. I remember playing this on the ColecoVision flashback that I reviewed and not being good at it, so maybe I'll be better at the 2600 version. Told you guys a lot of games. Space Invaders, just your text label. The early games didn't have pictures on them. Tunnel Runner, a Goat Plus cartridge, and it looks like the dog got on this one, so I guess that's why they got a second Tunnel Runner. Night Driver. Very solid game. Bugs. Real Sports Football, the American version. Hey, look, it's me, Mario, the Mario Brothers. Buy Nintendo on your Atari 2600. I always get a kick out of that, Mario being on the 2600. Another game I reviewed, Raiders of the Lost Ark, with the manual, which you'll need to help you somewhat. You actually need a walkthrough if you're going to beat that game. I think my hands are getting a little bit dust or dirt on them. Sorry about that. Let's see. The Adventures of Tron. Another M Network game. So basically that means it was on in television first. It's a special era when companies would make games for each other. There's Atlantis. Too bad it's not Atlantis 2. That would be really awesome. Entombed by US Games, who named that game. At least they named that one. Don't be scared, but it's Frankenstein's. Ooh, is that deactivation instructions? Interesting. So Frankenstein, that is a crazy level. That Frankenstein looks more like a zombie. Interesting. Berserk. I have a copy that's broken, so hopefully this one will work. Dark Cavern, another M Network game, and television come to the Atari. Bermuda Triangle. Remember the Bermuda Triangle being a bigger deal, 20 years ago than it is today. Video Pinball. It's a game I like. There's Bentley Bear. That's Crystal Castles for your Atari 2600. Moon Patrol. This one's a little bit rare. It's Hero. It's highly acclaimed. It's by Activision. Again, full color label with this full color illustration. That's how you know it's a later release. Homerun, the very first baseball game, I believe, on the 2600. Oh, I heard this is a classic. Sneak and Peek. It's hide and seek. So I'll have to look at that one, right? Space Cavern. I believe Dub from the Retro Obscura podcast, the founder of that podcast, really liked this game. I think that's the one. It had space in the name, so it's, I have to be close. I'm 1 out of 200 and some. Defender, so I got the prequel and the sequel. Well, this is not the prequel, it's the original. Riddle of the Sphinx, and check out that label art. That is really cool. These two I pulled out. I want to review them soon. Threshold by Tiger Vision. A somewhat rare game. And then finally, last but certainly not least, the thing that got me most excited about this group, River Patrol, one of the rarest games on the 2600. Recently, the manual right here sold for almost $200. Just the manual, which is very, see what they bought for $200. Now this one's folded, so it may not be, but look at, yep, it's just a one-page fold-out, 1984. So it really didn't get a big thing. So this manual is probably worth more than every other game I own in my collection, and this guy's probably worth a lot more than that. So there you go. Look forward to seeing the ultra rare River Patrol on a future episode before I sell it to help make the money back that I put into buying this huge collection. So there it goes, guys. Thank you for giving me a little part of your day. Don't forget you can follow me on Facebook and Twitter. Go to either one, search for The No Swear Gamer. If you like videos like this, please click the like and subscribe buttons. It really encourages YouTubers such as myself. So thank you for giving me a little part of your day, and I look forward to seeing you next time on the next episode of The No Swear Gamer. Take care, everyone. Bye-bye.